In the army, every fifth group was a task force. In the camp, too. If not every fifth, then every 10th.
In the neighborhood these priests worked in, there were 3 agents for every person. They monitored each other. After all, people lived in communal flats, and communal flats, on one hand, were the source of all sorts of problems. The main thing that was so terrible at the time was the possibility of informing on each other.
Well, say something about people you know. Which of them have anti-Soviet attitudes? No one, I said. Well then, who's been to see you? Actually, lots of people have been to see us. Of course, evidently, there have been snitches among us as well.
One of these witnesses said, "Do you know this person?" And he said, "Yes. We sometimes even said hello to each other." This wealth of experience was his evidence that he knew me to be a malicious and spiteful enemy of Soviet power. They asked him how this was shown. He answered that he was too cunning and secretive an enemy for it to be shown that openly.
Так что он это так не проявлялось у него открыто.
Ведь доносчики были людьми.
After all, the informers were people who, for the most part, did it completely voluntarily, sometimes for selfish reasons. Say I inform on my neighbor because if they arrest her, I'll be able to take over her flat. Sometimes people informed with no ulterior motives at all. I went to Karaganda to visit my mother. I said, "Mom, I want to go to the Komsomol Regional Committee and say, here I am. I've come as a young communist. Do you have any instructions for me?" And Mom was horrified because she realized that if I did this, I would immediately be recruited as a secret collaborator.
Тогда был полный психоз. Тогда приходили люди в дом и прыгали.
Then it was totally mad. Then people came to the house and jumped around. A friend of mine, a Lithuanian, he jumped around because he'd heard that if you jumped around, they'd turn off the things. And he jumped so hard. Then they removed the receiver, wrapped it in paper, and adjusted the dial. I can't imagine how it was possible to live then. These days, everyone says how cozy the Brezhnev era was. But for me, that's less comprehensible than someone saying how good it was in the camp or at the front. Simply less comprehensible. It was as if you'd been left in a swamp and you sat there without even a phone.